Welcome into SportBet Extra. I'm your host, Paul Rami, here every Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. It is Tuesday, February 17th. We are here ready to go. What a great February we've been having. End of last week to today, yesterday. I mean, it's just been incredible so far. We're on a great run, so I would recommend hopping on the board right now over on sportbetextra.com. Get all my plays. They've been hot. We'll cover everything that we've gone over so far, really since yesterday, so far since we've been doing the show. We are up now where we'd like to be, especially for February. We'll talk NBA a little bit, maybe not. We'll see what we've got time for, but we're definitely going to talk about college basketball. Not a huge slate today, just a great slate for college basketball. We can really dive in and dissect a lot of these games. So let's just get right into the show. Per usual, let's pull up that record and take a look at this. At the 40 unit mark there, plus 40.79 units. It feels like just the other day we were down to like 24, 25, 26, kind of just climbing our way back up. And here we go, plus 40.79 units. The last few days, I believe since the 11th, let me double check what I've got here, since the 10th. Something like that. Since the 10th, we've just been on a roll pretty much for a whole week. We've been on a roll, plus 16.28 units in just that week. That's great. That's definitely gotten us out of the hole that we were in January. As I've continued to say, February is great for college basketball into March as well. Yesterday, just to recap a few, we go 2-0-1. So one push there. We had Stony Brook -3. That one pushes. Could not hit the 1-1 down at the end to give them that at least 4-point lead, but no worries. Stony Brook held on there to win by 3 against Drexel. Last minute heave did not go anywhere. So Stony Brook, we get that win there, that push there, -3. Free play, Boston plus 2.5. Easy winner there against Colgate. They just took the lead. I believe they started off with 7 straight threes and never looked back. That team had control of the game the whole way, blew out Colgate there. And then on the other side, Tarleton State -1. What a great overtime win there. Back and forth most of the game there, and then Tarleton State able to close it there at the end as a slight favorite there, -1, and go ahead and go 2-0-1 yesterday. So we do get, a nice no loss there, which is great, and we are just, back and rolling. So we love that. We love that. It's just been, great recently, and let's just continue to keep rolling where we're at. Let's get this off the board and talk today college basketball. A couple games just tipped off. Boston College, Florida State. We weren't going to be on that one anyways. Probably would have leaned Florida State on that one, but that one just got underway. Not looking really to get involved for that one. We do have a few that are coming up here in the next 30 minutes. One main one, of course, you got number 1 Michigan on the road there against number 7 Purdue. That's going to be, man, what a fun one. Michigan's slight favorite there, -2.5. Now, you're getting a really great matchup, 2 powerhouses, really kind of this standalone game that we get to watch here. So Michigan -2.5 again. Going through the injuries, nothing that really is going to cause any sort of difference with this game. No guys, all key guys are in, should be good to go. Now, Michigan, I mean, they run that quick pace. Purdue, who used to run a quicker pace, kind of a slower pace this season. Purdue can really shoot the three very well. Michigan's kind of got the edge on the rebounds. Turnover wise, yeah, Purdue's a slight favorite there. And then defensively, just overall, Michigan's slightly better. So really, these teams are kind of just evening out, kind of canceling out each other. This almost feels like that Houston Iowa State game yesterday. I know Iowa State was the favorite at home, yet we're getting that kind of flipped here. Michigan's a favorite on the road, but it feels like one of those, man, where Michigan might go up early first half, kind of down the second half, see a little streak going, then Purdue might just end up coming back and winning that in a close game if they can get that momentum. I would be leaning Purdue here for this game. Again, recently they haven't played anybody since really Illinois and Indiana. They struggled against Oregon there, which is a little, worrisome. Nebraska, great win. We know now Nebraska, yeah, that was a great run that they had, but now just kind of fading away into the abyss there. So Purdue, nice win. And then on the road again at Iowa, nice win there by 21 points there. So Purdue's rolling defensively too. They're getting a lot of stops. They're not turning the ball over. They're forcing steals. I mean, this Purdue team is looking good right now after that kind of little horrible 3-loss streak they had near the end of January. February, they've been playing much better. Michigan on the other side just continues to roll. Against UCLA, no problem. Northwestern, Ohio State. I mean, they're just handling business with no problem at all. That only loss being there against Wisconsin. There's got to be a point, maybe not, where this team faces some, adversity and really struggles. It feels like it's going to be this game here. Again, I would lean Purdue money line. Will not be having to play on this one, but that's just the way I would lean for this early 5:30 tip-off here, Central Time game that we've got going on. Looking at a few others, we were on Bowling Green the other day. They're taking on Kent State today. That was one of those where we were just on them against Toledo, minus 3.5 point favorite there because they had lost that game earlier in the year against Toledo. Ended up winning that one back. Kent State, look, they played Kent State earlier this year, January 6th. They lost 96-93 by 3. Now they're a slight favorite here at home, minus 2.5. I like that number. Just saying, that's a good number there, minus 2.5. Bowling Green's been playing pretty well. Kent State, yeah, they've been playing well too, but they haven't really played much as far as competition against Eastern Michigan, Ball State. I would be leaning Bowling Green here. Bowling Green defensively, I think they're really going to come after it today. One of the higher rated defensive teams, especially in this conference, Bowling Green is. I would definitely be leaning them here. They're going to force turnovers, and we know that's a big issue with Kent State is turnovers. So if Bowling Green can just control the game, control the pace, defense and really defensive intensity, then they're going to have no problem covering this 2.5 point spread there. I'd be leaning Bowling Green. South Carolina at Florida. Don't really have much on this one. Florida, huge favorite there, minus 22.5. Really not going to be touching that one. North Carolina at NC State. What a weird number. Typically, you'll see, your ranked team going on the road. But a 7.5 number, that's a big number. That's got to be telling you something. The books know something here. This has NC State minus 7.5 written all over it for this rivalry game here. I mean, NC State, though, why, right? They struggled against Louisville, lost against Miami there. I mean, ever since that game against SMU and Virginia Tech, they were shooting really well. They haven't shot well as of late. Now you've got North Carolina visiting you, and North Carolina, they're a solid team. Had that loss against Miami, but nice win against Duke, easy win against Syracuse, easy win against Pittsburgh. They're rolling here. I would think that North Carolina can cover this 7.5. Of course, no Caleb Wilson. That's a big. They're losing a lot of scoring. They're losing their best player there, but you still got to feel like the rest of this team can kind of pick up some of the slack. Looks like no Visar as well. No wonder this number is what it is, 7.5. Yeah, I'd probably be leaning NC State -7.5 here. Too many injuries on North Carolina. Just double checking those. I would lean NC State -7.5, and just have no problem with that. Number 22 ranked Miami of Ohio on the road against UMass. 25-0 this team. Miami of Ohio still rolling. Last game against UMass, they struggled. They won by 2 there. That one was at home. Now they're going on the road. Yeah, I'd be careful. I'm not going to be betting UMass for this one. I would just be careful if you're riding Miami. This might be the one where they slip up. But, great team offensively, defensively. They're solid, but they can really just shoot the ball. Three-pointers are just dropping at a 40% rate. Free throw shooting as well, 76%. Like we talked about in college basketball, free throw shooting, three-point shooting, those are major categories that we've got to watch out for. So definitely Miami of Ohio. That's going to be a fun game there against UMass. I would probably lean UMass to cover, but no real, strong lean on this one. Louisville at SMU. Louisville number 21 there, laying a 3.5 number against SMU. SMU, we know they can shoot the ball. They love to run that kind of quick pace. They love to shoot 49% field goal shooting, especially from 3, 37% as well. Solid shooting team there, SMU. Will they be able to keep that type of shooting against Louisville? Possibly. I mean, against Louisville, when they played earlier in January, they lost 88-74. Again, ACC is a little bit different. When we get into these bigger conferences, you can't really go with that 1-and-1 mentality. This one, you've got to kind of look at the teams a little bit more. However, nice one against Notre Dame. On the road against Syracuse, 1-point loss there. Earlier, NC State, 1-point loss there. They're keeping it close. This feels like a game for SMU. I would probably take them with the points here. Louisville, though, I mean, they look solid. They've just been shooting really well. Last, 5 games they've won, of course, against SMU there. Notre Dame, Wake Forest, NC State, Baylor, just kind of handling business with no problem. I would lean SMU, not comfortably, though, here for this one. TCU, UCF, 16-9 TCU, 17-7 UCF. Small favorite there, -1.5 for TCU on the road. I'd probably lean TCU on this one here. Just overall, a slightly better team. I mean, nice win there against Ohio State as of late, against Oklahoma State on the road. They've been getting some pretty solid wins as of late. UCF there, losing against West Virginia, losing in Cincinnati. Like they're just on the wrong trajectory. One's going up, one's going down. I'd probably be on TCU, not a strong lean on this one, however. Just probably going to be a fun one to watch. This will be a back and forth game. This one's definitely going to come down to one of the final possessions. I'd lean TCU for this one here. Scrolling down to a few of the later games that we've got. Some ranked teams taking on some, not so great teams. St. Louis there on the road against Rhode Island. Rhode Island's solid. Will they hang around with that 9.5-point spread? I don't know. That's going to be tough. They haven't played St. Louis yet this year. So what are you going to get out of them? I really don't know. I think St. Louis is just too strong offensively and defensively. I don't think we're going to get much out of Rhode Island for this game. Virginia Tech on the road against Miami. Miami 20-5. Quietly having a pretty solid season. 8.5-point favorite here at home. Virginia Tech was a team that I loved early in the season. Fell out of love with in the middle of the season. We can't really figure this team out. Until we do, just going to be staying off Virginia Tech. Too many inconsistencies with this team. That's a big number, though, 8.5 for Miami, but just still something we're not going to be getting involved with. George Washington against VCU. Fun one to probably watch. I don't know if I'd be betting this one. VCU 6.5 point favorite there on the road against George Washington. I mean, George Washington coming off a nice win there against George Mason, Rhode Island, loss against Duquesne. I mean, Duquesne's pretty solid. St. Joe's, they could have done better there. So George Washington's a solid team. Can they cover that number? I don't know. VCU's just been rolling. VCU has won 9 straight games. Why would they stop now? They've just been blowing out these teams. I probably leaned VCU. Again, something I'm not 100% on, but that'd be the way I would lean. Wisconsin now finally ranked there, number 24 against Ohio State. I mean, 18-7 record. That's not great, but they've had some solid wins against Michigan State, against Illinois, barely losing there against Indiana. Nice win against Ohio State. This is a revenge spot here for Ohio State. Just simply put, 16-9 team there. Lost against Virginia the other day. That was a really close game if you're watching that one. Against USC, nice win. Got blown out by Michigan. This is a spot for Ohio State here. I would lean Ohio State -1.5. Not comfortably there. Looks like Mobley is going to be out for Ohio State. That's going to be a little bit concerning. They're going to lose some scoring there. But again, Ohio State, I would probably just lean them just in this spot. It's just kind of one of those. They're small favorite there, 1.5. Ranked team after not being ranked last week, now ranked, goes on the road, rival or kind of revenge spot. Yeah, I'd lean Ohio State here -1.5. LSU, Texas, not going to talk much. Texas 16-9 there, laying at 10.5. That's a big number. I'd probably just lay off of that game. Georgia, Kentucky. Georgia was really nice earlier in the season. Then they've just fallen off. 17-8, same record there as Kentucky. They've just been struggling with these games lately. I mean, defensively have not been very good, allowing 94 against Oklahoma, 86 there against Florida, 92, 86, 87. They're just allowing 80-plus points per game, almost 90 points a game over the last stretch there. Struggling defensively. Can't really trust this team defensively. They're kind of trending in the down direction. Kentucky, I mean, that was a tough game there on the road against Florida. Nice wins, though, they had against Tennessee, against Arkansas. I'd probably lean Kentucky here on this one, but 7.5 is a big number. I wouldn't be happy laying that number here. Probably would be better off just going with an over on this one. Defensively, both teams are kind of struggling. 162.5, that is a pretty high number. But I would lean the over on that one, 162.5. That'd be my lean for Georgia, Kentucky. Nebraska, number 9 there on the road against Iowa. Iowa, small favorite, -1.5 here against Nebraska. Now, these two teams have not met yet this season. Iowa coming off really 2 sad losses against, of course, Maryland there, and then Purdue got just completely destroyed. I know why they're favored here because Nebraska's kind of, still trying to figure out what they're doing after that loss against Michigan, loss against Illinois. Then they play Rutgers, have no problem there. Lose against Purdue. I would lean Nebraska here on this spot. This feels like one of those get-right games. You're playing another tough opponent. Let's continue to get back to where we were beginning of the season, before when we were undefeated. I would lean Nebraska here for this game, but not comfortably. Last one we'll talk about there is Texas Tech, Arizona State. Texas Tech laying a 6.5 number there on the road against Arizona State. I mean, Texas Tech, they're a solid squad there. As long as JT Toppin's in, like I've said before, wherever JT Toppin goes, the team will go. If he continues to play the way he's playing, just dominating on both ends, on the perimeter, on the glass. I mean, everywhere he goes, he's just a dominant force. I would just lean Texas Tech here, that -6.5 number. Arizona State, they're kind of up and down as of late. Yeah, you beat Utah. Yeah, you beat Oklahoma State. We know Oklahoma State doesn't play any defense whatsoever. So I would probably just be leaning Texas Tech here. I think too much defensively for Texas Tech against Arizona State. Let's get then to the free play for today. We're going to go back to one that we just talked about when the show started. Bowling Green there, minus 2.5. That's going to be that free play. Bowling Green, minus 2.5. Let's go double check on ProfitX. See what type of odds we're getting. Again, use code Paul Rami on ProfitX. Get you a 20% purchase match up to $100. Here we go, going down to Bowling Green, seeing where we're at currently live with this number. Minus 2.5. We can get a -2, minus 106. So that's what we're going to take. Bowling Green, -2, minus 106 there. That's our free play for today. Lock it in. As soon as the show's over, the rest of the plays are going to be posted over on sportbetextra.com. We'll get you a free 7-day trial. Then sign back up for a week, a month, 3 months. Again, February is really rolling. This is our bread and butter right here, college basketball in February. We really love a lot of these spots. Go check it out, sportbetextra.com. Site's been revamped a little bit. It looks pretty nice. Go check it out. Good luck today. Bowling Green -2. If you're tailing, I will see you all